Hey guys, this is going to be a quick supplemental video instruction for relocating your digital rear view mirror trailer plug receptacle, quick connect, whatever you want to call it, to the bed from the bumper where it originally comes from the factory. Now this isn't going to be my best installation instruction video I've ever done. I think this one's actually something that's probably a little bit better done with pictures. So I have the PDF instructions on the website. The main thing I wanted to show you here was basically the functionality of the end product, and then show you how I reroute the cable for the trailer camera. So from the factory, the trailer plug receptacle is here where I have my air quick connect. Obviously, I have an aftermarket bumper, and that kind of helped me stone two birds because now I didn't have to plug an unused hole. You'll notice on the trucks without the trailer camera system, they just have a dummy block off plate right here. But what you're going to do is you're going to go inside on the back side of the bumper. There's some silver springy retainer tabs. You're going to push those together, and that connector housing is just going to push right out the back side of the bumper, and then we can start moving that cable. So first, I think I'll just point out the tools you're going to need. This is a T30 star bit, Torx bit, whatever you want to call it. That's going to take out these 4 factory screws holding the OEM bezel to the bed side. And then you're going to need 10mm socket wrench and an open end wrench. And then I believe it is a 5mm for the Allen head bolt down in the corner. You're going to also need a 1/4-inch drill bit, a Dremel, side cutters, and a silver Sharpie, and that should be about it. So I'm going to bring you down here with me, and I'm going to show you as best I can how we were able to reroute the camera cable. So that camera cable, which I show you a little bit of that in the rear bumper installation video, because I show you that if you trace the cable back far enough, there's a dummy plug so that you can actually unhook the camera wire from the bumper, put the dummy plug in it to keep any dirt from getting into that quick connect. So you're going to follow that back. They have a bunch of these style. It's kind of hard to show you here. This kind of zip tie that turns into like a push clip that pushes into like a hole in the frame. This might have been holding that camera wire. I believe it was, and I just cut it. And then it looks like I cut these 2 zip ties, so I pulled it back all the way to here. And then you're going to actually reroute the cable. You can see where I'm pointing. You're going to go up. You're going to go over the frame this way. So here is our camera cable coming over the frame. I zip tied it to this fender support rod, and I put multiple zip ties on it because you don't want that cable to fall down into the leaf spring or the shackle, because all of this stuff moves. You want it tucked up as tight as possible. There you can see one of the factory zip tie push plug things. I just pulled that out. And then we sent it further up, and I zip tied it to the trailer 7-pin harness. So that is all you have to do. The main thing that you have to do is get it back far enough so you can bring it over the top of the frame, and that's what gives you enough slack to go up into the bed. So functionality wise, this guy, is this way from the factory. Now it's going straight up and down, so it mimics our bumper setup. This guy's going to fold down. You will have to open this before you plug your camera wire in, because it's so close that this will hit the little shoulder sticking off the camera plug. But you're obviously going to have your trailer plugged in if you're using a trailer camera, so I didn't see that being an issue. There's only about 30 thousandths between these 2 guys here. This is flush over here on the edge, so it's flush all the way up to the edge of the factory bezel. And then there's like less than 30 thousandths of clearance over here. So this just barely fits. It's not like I wanted this stuff to all be so tight. We just got lucky that it fit at all in this configuration. And then I have my momentary switch for sending my electric tonneau both directions. So now instead of having to have a key fob on me or use the aux switch in the cab, I can just drop the tailgate, reach in, hit that, and that opens the tonneau or closes it. So I don't think there's a whole lot else that I really need to show you in this video. I think the PDF instructions should be sufficient, but I do have to get in here today anyway to do another wiring project because I'm wiring up some more lights that come down under the bed rails, and now they monitor the light current draw in that circuit in the, I think it's the CAN bus system. And if it reads more than like 0.28 amp draw, it shuts that off. Even though it's got like a 5 amp fuse, that fuse should never blow because it'll shut it off with the computer before the fuse overloads. And to fix that, I know I'm going off topic a little bit here, but this was the extension harness for the 7-way for this guy that came with the rough country rear bumper. And I thought, you know what? Since this is like a standalone deal and I can work on this on the bench outside the truck, I'm going to wire in a weatherproof relay into this harness, plug that in, and then that'll give me my auxiliary power so I can use this to trigger my relay, and then I can use all the aftermarket LED lights I want to in the bed. Crazy thing is I got 2 sticks that go from like here up to the box, and it's only like 0.28 total current draw, and I think 0.25 is the limit, so I'm just barely over it. But what happens is once it senses that, it shuts it off, and then anytime you open the tailgate or a door, everything flickers and then it shuts off right away. So since I'm getting in here anyway, I'll show you what's going on behind here. And you really don't want to over tighten the heck out of these 4 bolts. They just have some floating nuts inside the bed side. This guy kind of slides forward and then pops out because you got just this little finger here that clips over this. So you got to slide this whole thing forward and then it'll pull out. But that's what it looks like. So I can show you better here in the video. This switch is so tight you do have to cut this front tab off, but we're only using this side of the switch anyway. And then just tuck your wires down tight and it's a nice tight fit. This was the prototype that I 3D printed. This is made out of PLA, which is not a high temperature tolerant plastic. And when I went to Vegas, it melted. I should also mention that I thought it was easier just to solder wire to the switch because it is so tight on the backside that if you put like spade terminals on, they would probably hit that metal. I didn't want to mess around with that risk, so I just soldered some wire straight to the switch and it works great. So again, you don't have to have a tonneau. You could actually use this switch to power lights, especially if you didn't get the factory LED bed light kit. You could actually do what I'm doing, pull your power out of here, put a relay in so that you're stealing power out of here, and then just have a switch here for your bed lights. And this is a super common switch size, which I purposely selected this switch because tons of aftermarket switches will fit this slot. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you in a future video.